Hey, it's Kenny. I am still camping at Cape Blanco State Park, but today I'm going to do a tour of the Hughes house. It was built in 1898, and they give tours here, and it belongs to the Oregon State Parks. So come along with me. Let's go on a tour of a vintage house on Cape Blanco. I was actually here earlier this year when I camped down here at Cape Blanco, but I wasn't able to go on a tour because the house wasn't open that time of the year. So today's going to be a big bonus. I've looked forward to coming and visiting this house and going through the tour. Good to see that open sign out there. Carrie, a volunteer with the Parks Department, is going to be conducting the tour for me today.
So I am going to introduce you to Jane and Patrick Hughes, or Patrick and Jane. So they were both born in Northern Ireland in County Tyrone. So they did not know each other, and they immigrated over and met in Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh, wow.
1850 they met, and they married in 1853. She came over with her family at 17, and he was 20 by himself. So they married, and he wanted to come over the West Coast because he wanted to find gold.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Lots of people did that.
Lots of gold. So she came over here with him, stayed in the Roseburg area while he went up and down the coast, all the way to British Columbia and back.
Wow.
And finally she said, okay, that's enough now. Let's settle down.
Yeah.
So they had about 70 to 80 acres out further between here and the ocean.
So that's a homestead.
That was the homestead out there. He cleared that area. He did a beautiful job and started a dairy farm.
Right.
So he had upwards of 100 head of Holstein and Jersey cows, which are the high fat content. So he sold that milk to the local cheese factories that were popping up here.
Langlois,
right. And Denmark, they both had those in those little areas. The McMullins were the family. And so they were kind of busy out there. He grew his 70 acres to about 2,000.
Oh, wow.
So he even sold the right-of-way and the plot for the lighthouse. He was here before the lighthouse.
Okay.
Yes. And she was slightly busy also. She had 9 children in 16 years.
Oh, my goodness.
So in 1898, they decided to build this beautiful home right here with an architect called P.J. Lindbergh. So he was known for the outside cedar work and the large ceilings. So we have 10-foot ceilings here.
Yep. 3,000
square feet. All the flooring you see here is original Douglas fir, and all the framing in the home is 2x8 Porterford cedar. That's why we're still here.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And the horse slipped and fell on him, and he was found a few hours later,
bummer.
He passed away a few days later. So fortunately for Jane, her 3 sons had came into the home with her.
Okay.
So in 1905, 2 major things happened in this house. Edward starts a butter creamery here, where they would ship 25-pound crates of butter to San Francisco. And then in 1905, right here, the youngest Frances married Annie. Annie was the postmistress in Gold Beach, and she was the only other female to come into the home beside Jane.
Wow.
And they had the only child in the home. Okay. This right here is just a closet now. So welcome to the men's parlor. So I'm going to introduce you to the three boys that came into the home with the family. Edward here was the oldest and was ranch manager after his father died. College educated his siblings. Thomas right here, he is the bookkeeper that you see all this beautiful handwriting from. And then Frances, who married Annie. Yes, this is all receipts
Oh, these are
of the family right here. You can see right here 2 doors for $5.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Money was worth a lot more then.
Yes. And right here you have the creamery stamp and the stencil for the dairy.
Oh,
and you
nice.
notice they don't put their last Irish name on it. They just wanted them to sell for the butter. Irish were treated differently. So,
Oh.
yes, that was kind of sad. We do have some sagging
Oh.
in the home here, but they do beautiful in earthquakes. So if you look right over here, this is the original.
You've had earthquakes here before?
It's been a while.
Okay.
Thankfully, where's some wood? Knock on some wood.
Yeah.
So this fireplace is original to the family, redwood and cedar.
That's got
And-
to be electric.
Yes. They shored it up a little bit with the cement there.
Okay.
But this was painted at one time. And they
Oh.
took the paint off
Oh.
and found this beautiful
Yeah.
wood here. In the
Looks like
picture,
cedar.
cedar and redwood, yes. Beautiful. This is the house 1900, I'd say.
Oh, it
It's
has a
brand
fence
new.
around it.
It sure does. And the bulbs that you see right on here are still out there, original.
Okay.
And you can see the top of the house on the peaks. Those are lightning strike.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
There's 3 of them up there that you can see.
Yes, we do have 3 chimneys on the home right here.
Okay.
And this piece that you see over here was donated by Patrick Masterson. Alice, their daughter, married into the Mastersons.
Mm-hmm.
He was from Port Orford, and that was his grandmother, and he donated this.
Nice.
He had a huge part in renovating this home and turning the history in.
So I'm assuming that most of the furniture probably isn't original?
No,
Yeah.
none of the furniture you see is original. By then, the family had already moved out.
Right, but you have period furniture.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's all dated, and the wallpaper back to Jane's time.
Oh, really?
1898 to 1923.
Wow.
So we did have a bunkhouse off the back of the house right here, and the hands would come and wash in, come in this room, wait to be called into the dining room.
Oh, cool.
So you can see this beautiful piece up here. This has got 3 generations of light. You have kerosene lamps on the side, then we went to gas, and then electricity.
Oh.
It's a beautiful piece.
I can see this. Is this the gas?
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, you would pull it down and turn it.
Wow.
I'm not positive this was an original piece of the house, because when you have gas and kerosene, you did not want it that close to the roof.
Catch fire.
Most of the other sconces aren't.
Yeah.
She would have the hands come in, and she would rotate them through and feed them, and you could see the beautiful food pass through on the other side.
Oh
over
yeah,
there.
kitchen pass through.
Yes. One of the sons became a father, a priest.
Oh.
Second ordained minister in the state of Oregon.
Wow.
So upstairs right here on this beautiful is a chapel.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. So this part of the tour upstairs is self-guided, so let's head up the stairs. This is the original rug. Wow.
So what'd you think?
That's pretty awesome up there. It looks like the guest room is actually the largest room upstairs.
It is. Most definitely is the largest. That's how the Hughes treated their guests. They were very good about it. If you were traveling through the area, I'm told, you were greeted by one of the family members. They would make sure you had food and water, and they would let you stay for a couple of days and fish.
That's nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So come on in
Okay.
to the, this is the master bedroom here.
Oh, it's downstairs.
So this, I'm going to have you come in a little bit further. I'm going to share something with you behind the door here.
Okay.
So when they renovated the home here, the state parks saved a corner for us here.
That's cool.
So down at the bottom you have 1x6 shiplap, and that would have went all the way up the wall. And that is what they lost when they had to, due to code and the fire.
They had to take that all off.
Yes. So cheesecloth on there, and then the bottom here would be Jane's wallpaper.
Okay.
That's what they brought this back to, the wallpaper, the current one. And then when Jane passed away at 90, Annie and Francis moved into the room, and that would be Annie's room.
Awesome.
And this is Jane here at 89.
Oh my.
She died a year later. Very sturdy, strong woman here.
Yeah.
And this on the wall is her about 17 or so when she married Patrick.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this bedroom is what's called East Lake Victorian. That's what they would describe the house as also.
Okay.
So that's just the era of
The kind of
ornate
construction.
Yes.
Yeah.
More wood, more carvings on the piece. So in 1898, most people had an outhouse, correct?
Correct.
Especially the West Coast here, but not the Hughes.
Oh, really?
So
They had an
come on
actual
in here.
bathroom?
Yes. So P.J. Lindbergh,
Oh,
the
my.
architect, tapped a spring on top of this mountain and through gravity brought it through the house.
Oh, awesome.
To the house. So this commode here that you see has been kind of updated. It would have been a tank on the chain
pull
on here.
chain,
Yes.
yeah.
And this beautiful arm piece you see right, sink, is a twin sister to the washroom.
Okay.
And you have a beautiful,
Clawfoot tub.
yes, with the beautiful wood on the outside.
You don't see the wood around the top very often.
Yes, and they did that for warmth.
Ooh.
Yes,
makes sense.
this is cast iron right here.
Yep, weighs a ton.
And it was very cold. So if you do look on the ceiling right here, that's the other hand-painted ceiling.
Oh,
Isn't it beautiful? It
Yeah.
adds character to the home.
it does.
Yes. So I'm going to bring you here into the heart of the house.
Okay, the kitchen.
So this cradle right here was built specifically from P.J. Lindbergh to bring in this big, beautiful stove that you see right here. So this was very up-to-date and new at the time. You have your rings here. These are sized to skillet cast irons
Okay.
so that you could get a better cooking.
Okay.
You know, and you didn't, you could control
So
it a
you
little
put
bit
a
more.
large skillet on here, you would take the centerpieces
Yes,
out? Oh, that makes
exactly.
sense.
And she did have airflow right here. This was a San Francisco company.
Okay.
And she could turn that and bring in more air or less. So,
Or hotter,
and
colder.
of course you've got your damper here on the side, and that would be released and it would go upstairs.
It's a pull.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can see on the floor right here, you can see all the damage that has been done to the floor. This is where the water barrel would have been. Before the black tiles were added, they had 2 coils, and it would go and sit inside of the water barrel.
To make hot water.
Hot water, this is our water heater
Yeah,
right here.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. So right here you have our pantry. This pantry was well loved, very well loved. So much so that they had to support the floor with another piece of wood there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
A
some.
lot of traffic in here.
Yes, I had the 2 granddaughters come in and they talked about Annie being here a lot.
Yeah.
Cooking and doing what
You
she
bet.
would do, love to do.
3 meals a day.
Yes, and you have the beautiful pass-through, of course, right through there.
Yep.
So this right here, what do you think?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is a ice cream maker, but I don't think that's what it is. It's got to be something else.
Edward
Butter
and
churn,
Thomas would bring newfangled items in from San Francisco, and this right here would be a bread maker.
Oh, a bread hook. Oh,
It is.
I
Yes.
get it.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah,
It's
that's
the
cool.
original KitchenAid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hand
So
print.
it does have, as you look, the instructions
Right on the
the
top.
outside right here.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, just to make life a little bit easier for Jane or
Absolutely.
Annie. Yes.
Yep.
And you can see at one time we did have the gas.
Yep, there it
And
is.
you notice the sconces are a little bit lower. They had that
Oh, yeah.
for kerosene and the oil, the gas that came in. That way you didn't burn your ceiling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not a good thing.
So these are the two daughters that were married already. Alice married into the Mastersons I told you about that donated, and they were the local mercantile.
Okay.
And this is Mary, who married into the McMullins, and they were the Langnøy cheese factory in the Langnøy, Denmark area, right here.
Okay.
So Mary married Frank McMullen, and her older brother married Laura McMullen.
Okay, so I was, not this trip, but a previous trip down here, I went and stopped at the cemetery. Are any of the Hugheses in that cemetery?
They are no longer there.
Oh, they've been
I'll
moved?
tell you the story. Yes,
Oh,
they've been
okay.
exhumed.
Oh, all right.
And Mary had a hand in that.
Okay.
There is a McMullen still up there, though. Other ones are. So I'm going to bring you into the washroom here.
Okay.
This is where the hands would come in and wash out.
Okay.
She would send them out the porch and wait to be called into dinner.
Oh.
So this right here is the house being built. And
Wow.
this right here is why we are still here.
Port Orford
Port Orford cedar,
Yeah.
2x8. And you can see on the side, there's a drawing right here, is what it would look like when they planed it. This
Right.
is how much they would take off,
Yeah.
which is sad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and you see the beautiful cedar work outside.
Mm-hmm.
So what they would do is they would put a scallop on there, and then they would nail one right here, and then nail one right here.
Oh, okay.
So you
it's
get that
actually
beautiful
two pieces.
fish
Oh.
scale is what it's called.
Okay.
And cedar swells when it gets moist, and it seals it up,
Right.
and then it dries quickly.
Yep.
So we recently had a pest test done on the house. Termites? No termites.
They don't like it.
125
Especially
years.
this one.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So I'm going to introduce you to James. James Hughes is right here. He kind of looks a little bit like Billy the Kid, doesn't he?
A little.
A little, yes. So James was the lighthouse keeper, and
Okay.
he lived up there with his family, and he was the one that was begging for more housing up there, and he did not get any. So
Oh.
in 1909, he had P.J. Limburg build the house across the river right there. You can see the big, beautiful white one over there.
Oh, okay. So
That is the James Hughes house.
okay.
And
So that one must be occupied now. Then.
yes, it is. In 1935, the Sweet family bought that.
Okay.
And they've been there since. And
Okay.
there, in there now is the great-great-grandson of one of J.W. Sweet.
Wow.
J.W. Sweet and Dosha Sweet were the original owners.
Family didn't go far.
Yes. So I'm bringing you into the laundry/mudroom.
Okay.
Ready to do some laundry?
Not really.
Well, this time was newfangled compared to this
Yeah,
on the
I
wall.
do remember as a kid my mom did have a ringer. But
Oh yes, and I remember lots saying, "Look at it, watch your fingers in there."
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring you over here to the family tree.
Oh, okay.
So you do see the 9 children. She lost her firstborn at 9 and her fifthborn at 5.
Oh, bummer.
So 3 boys that came into the house.
Okay.
James, the lighthouse keeper.
Okay.
The 2 daughters that married out, and this is Father John.
Oh.
Very, very proud of him.
He looks good.
Second ordained minister in the state of Oregon.
Wow.
So if you look, this is where we're at currently.
Oh, there's no trees.
Yes, he took most of them down.
Okay.
And this right here is the house that they lived in for 38 years. Right there.
Oh.
And this is the dairy, original dairy. This is just a close-up of it.
Okay.
But if you look right here, this is the house we're in.
Right.
This is the bunkhouse. And this
Oh.
is a beautiful side view of it right here.
Okay.
And this was right off the house right here. And you were asking me about the cemetery.
Right.
So the Cape Blanco Pioneer Cemetery has a big monument to Patrick in there.
Yes.
And right in the middle of that was Mary's Star of the Sea.
Oh, there was a
Yes,
church building up
church
there?
was James Church. It was
Oh,
built by
okay.
Lindbergh. And in 1962, the Great Columbus Day storm took it out.
Dumb bummer.
Yes, that was a large storm here.
That was a big
so
event.
the story, what happened in 1938, John and Mary got together and were concerned about their relatives that were buried there.
Mm-hmm.
So she received the funds from her in-laws, and they exhumed the bodies of these 5 and put them into Portland.
Portland. Why did they
Father
go all the
John
way to
was
Portland?
Father John was at the Archdiocese in Portland.
Oh, okay.
So all of these, plus a few more, minus Alice here. Alice is not buried with them. They're all buried at Mount Calvary in Portland.
Okay.
Alice is buried in Bandon by herself.
Wow.
Yes. And so these are some beautiful pictures over here. Thomas was the fun uncle here, and he got the first car in the area. And these are all Mary's daughters. She had 5 daughters.
Oh, wow.
In the car, and Uncle Thomas was going to take them for a ride. So, and this is James' house across the way.
Okay.
We recently had Alice Masterson's great-granddaughter in the house.
Cool.
And she reached up and said, "That's my grandpa."
That's great to see really old pictures
yes,
and recognize
it is.
somebody.
And you can see that we did have in the area mines. It's very difficult, black sand gold, very difficult
Very
to
fine.
extract.
Yeah.
And I've heard that they, in the beginning, used mercury to
Yeah, gold and mercury like each other.
Yes. This is the Mackenzies here. They leased property from Hughes. And last year I met Patrick Mackenzie out on the pasture. He was rotating, and these are his great-grandparents.
Oh, nice.
He was rotating the cows.
Cool.
Yeah. So if you look right up here, you can see this was an Edwards room. That would be a laundry chute and a dumbwaiter.
Okay. Oh,
Jane,
a dumbwaiter. Wow.
Jane was 65 when she had the house, so built. Very smart.
Very nice.
So, and all the beautiful clothing that you see here is a part of living history pre-COVID. And the locals would come in and dress as the Hughes.
Oh, that would be cool to see
have
that.
a tea party, yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're hoping to get it back there. So that's the end of the tour.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
You're
I've
welcome.
appreciated all of your knowledge. And,
So do you,
you've been very
do you have
kind.
a YouTube channel? What do you do?
Yes, I do have a YouTube channel, and I did promise Carrie I would send her a link when I finished and posted this video. So thank you very much for everyone coming along on this tour of the Hughes house. May God bless you, your children and friends, and I will see you in my next video.